So I have sort of these two things that I wanted to talk about, which are, pretty interesting overall, at least to me. The first is this thing called verisimilitude. I'll go over that in a second. And the other thing is the Buddhist idea of the two truths. Now, verisimilitude can have multiple meanings. The first of which being sort of this idea. Well, I'll say in literature first. In literature, it is this thing that is close to reality or similar to the real thing. So you can have this, um, I guess, very descriptive story, which relates or feels real to you, but isn't necessarily real. Like you could have a real feeling magic system, you could have a real feeling person, but they aren't exactly real in the sense of it being a story. Uh, and then verisimilitude, uh, in sort of this scientific or philosophical, verisimilitude in this sort of philosophical or scientific view is this idea of something being close to the truth, um, or closer to being the truth. I thought this was interesting because, um, which relates to why I'm also talking about the Buddhist like two truths. Also, which I'd like to, learn more about. I feel like I have a very surface level understanding of Buddhism, and I'd want to learn more. So I guess if there's any uh, books or anything else I can look into, videos, uh, recommend it to me, and I'll take a look and maybe do something as like a video on this channel. Anyway, uh, I like this idea that there are things that are closer to the truth, or, you know, I keep doing that. I need to stop. But things that are closer to the truth in our eyes. So each of us has this view of something that to us is very much the truth. And in Buddhism, they would call this the relative truth. This being that which is true to us. It is not essentially wrong. It is not essentially right. It is simply the truth to us and how we view it. And everyone sort of has this view of what is the truth. And some truths are closer to being uh, more truthful than others. In science, this could be, specific laws like the law of gravity, the ones on thermodynamics, and these understandings are closer to being true, even if they are not fully true. And so there's the relative truth in which to us and how we view things, that is the truth. And then there is the the absolute truth in Buddhism, which is sort of this idea that things are as they are, um, or things aren't as they are. Think. Uh, so like this tennis ball right here. This tennis ball is simply just a tennis ball. And when the tennis ball isn't here, it will still simply be a tennis ball. Uh, and the tennis ball is also not here. I think that that's the proper way to think about it. So nothing is nothing and everything is everything, basically. And that is the absolute truth. Things simply are as they are and not how we as individuals see them. Um, and I think that verisimilitude speaks on to what, we as people cannot see. We see things from a very limited perspective. Uh, obviously, so anything that we take in is going to be the truth for us. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it is the full truth. It is simply close to the truth, and sometimes we can take time to gain understanding to get a closer truth or this verisimilitude. Yeah, that's basically all I want to talk about. I thought that this word and the two connecting ideas were something interesting. No. Anyway, peace out and bye.